to a comfortable seated position. We are going to be here for a few minutes, so definitely get yourself comfortable. As I've mentioned in the past, if you need to extend a leg or anything, feel free to do so. If you need to extend both legs, that's fine. Just make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall for your torso. So the best way to do that is to um, give yourself something to sit on. Your sit bones will come on the edge of whatever you're sitting on, whether it's 2 or 3 blankets, one blanket. I highly recommend that people sit on something. And if your knees are way up around here still, you just need to go a little bit higher with your with whatever you're sitting on. So the first thing I wanted to do was just show you a very simple practice that I learned a couple of weeks ago for just helping with puffiness in the face. um it can help with puffiness in your eyes, and especially if you've had any kind of illness or anything, especially like an upper respiratory where you've got stuff in your head. If you've got you just didn't sleep well and your eyes are puffy and things like that, that can really help. Sometimes that can be a little bit uncomfortable, with tightness around the eyes and stuff. So the first thing that we're going to do, we are going to do this with our fingers. You can also do it with a gua sha stone, and if you're interested in learning more about that, I can definitely show you one. I didn't bring it with me today, but we're going to take our index and middle fingers, and we're just going to make a little V. And this is going to be a little bit hard to see because I have a shirt over the area, but I'm going to pull it to the side a little bit. But your collarbone is right across here. So we want to take our index finger and put it on top of the collarbone, just above, and the middle finger just below the collarbone. So as you can see, I'm just going back and forth very gently. It's not a hard rub, but we've got lymph nodes on just above and just below our collarbone. So in order to drain any puffiness from the face, we first of all want to start here so that it opens the drain. Okay, so we're basically just opening the drain. We're going to do that on the other side. Just very gently. And then we'll take and we'll turn our head to one side, and there's a muscle that runs right here down your neck. So just put one finger on either side of that muscle. You can turn your head back to the front and then just rub down a few times. You can do both sides at the same time here. Just just turning the head just helps you kind of identify where that is. Just go down a few times. That's going to empty those lymph nodes down. They're going to drain out of this area that we opened here by the collarbone. I also like to just take all of my fingers and just gently rub down. You can go on either side of your ears with the spot hands, just making a V. And then just rubbing downwards. So you always want to go toward the heart when you're doing any kind of lymphatic drainage. Always go toward the heart. Okay. And then underneath your jaw, you can just rub along there. I like to take my thumb and forefinger and just sort of rub along the edge of the jaw with the thumb underneath, and then the index finger sort of on the edge. And then we'll come right underneath our cheekbones. You can just gently rub there, just kind of come in a downward fashion. And then I like to do a little bit more where I do my whole face. So I'll take my fingertips, bring them to the middle of my forehead, and just pull outward and down, outward and down. Just a few times, go underneath the eyes, across the cheekbones. And then as you're coming across the side of the face, you can come down the neck and just do whatever feels good. If you're feeling any stiffness in the back of your neck, you can do the same thing we did on the forehead, but bring the fingertips to the back of the neck and just gently brush across and then down toward the collarbones. So that can feel really, really. A fun thing to try is to take a selfie before you do this, and then a few minutes later you can take another one and see if you're noticing any different puffiness. So I often do that just for fun, just to see. But it can do a lot of work. I know I was out and about yesterday and something is blooming that was bothering me a little bit, so I was doing that quite often as I was just out and about. I will say that sometimes you'll get a little bit of itchiness. That's just a histamine reaction, nothing to worry about. It's just everything draining. And I often will get that, especially in my neck and right around my collarbone. So anyway, that's just a new trick for you to try if you're experiencing any issues there. So, so anyway, before we come on down to our mat, let's go ahead and just do some upper body stretches. We'll start with the neck. So let's just gently start looking to the left. Just notice how far your head turns. Back to the front, and then over to the right. Back to the front. We'll do one more time to each side. Just noticing if your head turns any further. And then back. So we'll start just bringing our shoulders up around our ears. We've done this before in this class, but we want to just really squeeze the shoulders up and hold it. And then we'll release to the count of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I find this very effective for releasing tension in the neck and shoulders. So let's try that again. And again, this is something you can do anytime you're feeling a lot of um, tension, especially your neck, because we do a lot of forward facing. Sometimes we're looking at our phone or computer or reading a book, driving, everything's forward. We're hunching forward a lot. So, okay, we'll release 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we'll reach the left arm out to the left, palms facing toward the front. We're going to sweep that arm across, scoop it with our right. So you can either hold the arm like this, or you can cradle the arm like so. If this bothers your left shoulder, you can bend the elbow. You can even place it on the right shoulder. So you should feel a nice stretch through the outer shoulder, maybe even around to the shoulder blade on the left side. And then we can turn and look off of the left shoulder. And then we'll come back to the front with our head and then just gently release the arm down. Do the same thing on the other side. Right arm goes straight out, sweep it across the body, and scoop it for support with the left arm. So bringing that left arm or that right arm closer to the body is going to intensify the sensation. Again, you can cradle the arm if you like. Just noticing where you're feeling the stretch. And then you can turn and look off of the right shoulder. And then we'll turn back to the front and gently lower the arms down. All right, we'll bring our arms to cactus or goddess arms. Now, first of all, let's pull the arms back, keeping the elbows up, but squeezing through our shoulder blades. So we're pulling the shoulder blades together on the back of the body. And then we'll bring the arms together in front, elbows and hands to touch. Make sure that the elbows are staying up. We don't want them down here. I'm going to make sure we're stretching across the top of the back, across the shoulders and that upper body part. So come on back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Try to keep those elbows as high as you can without bringing them all the way up, right? Bring this elbows and hands together. And then we're going to do that one more time. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Now, this time, when we bring our arms forward, we're going to let the left arm come underneath the right. So we're coming into eagle arms. This is the first variation of this, where the backs of your hands are together. Now, some people can wrap all the way around so that the left fingertips are on the right palm. So whatever it works for your body, raise the elbows up just a little bit. You should feel a nice stretch across maybe across the top of the shoulders, but definitely through the shoulder blade area. If you want a little bit more, tuck the face down in the crook of the arms. Make sure you're breathing. And bring the face back up. Gently release the hands to the shoulders and then release them down. Now we got to do the other side as well. Bring the arms back into that goddess arm position. And then right arm goes underneath the left. Back of the hands together, or you can wrap around. Raise the elbows. And then tuck the face if you like. Bring the face back up. Hands release to the shoulders, and then just come back down. Shake them out a little bit. We did a lot with the upper body there. So we're going to go ahead and come down to our mats. If you like to have a blanket under your head for support, we're going to go ahead and place that. Just come on down. And then just have your block handy for this one. So first of all, we're just going to go ahead and do a few pelvic tilts. Just press that low back into the mat and release. As you do that, you can feel the pubic bone coming up toward the ceiling. And then when you release, the pubic bone lowers back down and the low back just comes off the mat very slightly. Let's just keep doing that a few times. And then let's draw one knee in and then the other. So when we get here, let's just let the low back release a little bit here. You can pull those knees into your chest. You can even move them off to the sides towards the armpit and pull them in. And then we can bring the knees back together if you had them by the armpits, and then just rock side to side. So we're just massaging the low back, just starting to bring a little bit of movement, a little bit more movement into the body. And then we'll pause here. We're going to let the knees, we're going to take one hand on each knee, let the knees drop away from us a little bit. And then we're just going to stir them together. So we're going to keep the knees together and just make some circles. This is going to start to move, get a little bit movement in the hip joint. Pause and go in the other direction with your circles. Try to let the hands do the work. I know it's like really easy for the legs to take over, but we want to try to give that hip flexor a bit of a break here. All right, then we'll pause. We're going to let the knees drop away out to the sides. One hand is on each knee. And now we're going to start to do some circles, opposite circles. So bring the knees together and then apart, just making some circles. Again, let the hands do the work. And then we'll reverse and take those circles in the opposite direction. All right, then we'll bring the knees back together. We're going to let one foot drop back to the mat and then the other. So we're going to be very mindful of our backs. And we'll take the blanket and move it out from under our head. So we're going to be working on bridge a little bit here, and we don't want to over constrict the neck. So there will be some constriction in the neck, and that's good. That's what we want, but we don't want to have too much there. So we'll tuck our chin a little bit toward the chest just to elongate the back of the neck. Heels are about in line with our sitting bone, so we've got a space between the thighs. We're going to take our block in our hand, and we're going to take a deep breath in, exhale, and we're going to raise our hips up. We're going to bring that block underneath the sacrum. So that's the lowest part. All of our vertebrae are hanging off. So they're just free to release there in the low back. Our feet are still on the mat. And as you can feel, now you want to really try to avoid turning your neck when we're in any kind of bridge or shoulder stand position, just so that you don't strain the neck any. But you'll notice there's some constriction around the front of the throat. That's completely normal, and that helps to stimulate that thyroid gland as well. So I'm going to stay here for just a moment, letting the low back release. You'll notice that we're sort of on, we're moving toward the tops of our shoulders in this position. So this can be nice on the shoulders as well. So we're in this version of supported bridge. We're going to go ahead and extend one leg long and straight. Heel is on the mat. You'll feel a nice stretch through the front of the hip, through the hip flexor, through the psoas, which goes inside, just inside the hip bone and connects up into the thoracic spine. This muscle, or these two, are really working hard as we sit. And it's kind of hard to get them to stretch. You gotta do some back bends to get them to stretch. So, but this is gentle yoga, so we want to do it gently. If you'd like, you can extend the other leg straight. Now, if this is too intense with both legs extended, just do one at a time. You can feel that muscle release. If at any time it gets to be too intense, either bend one knee or both knees and just let the feet come back to the mat. So it's completely up to you. If you're alternating legs, go ahead and switch legs now. Now, gently come out, bring your right foot to the floor and then the left. Let's pause here for just a moment. And then when you're ready, press through the feet and lift the hips. Remove the block and place it off to the side. Gently and slowly lower back down to the mat. Now let's do a few pelvic tilts here, just to help to reset the low back a little bit. We were actually doing a back bend there. So we want to be really careful as we change directions of the spine. So now we'll pause the pelvic tilt and just very gently bring the right knee into the chest and then the left. And we'll pause here, letting the back settle. And then we'll just start to rock side to side. This probably feels really good after the back bend. I know it does for me. Just sort of massages it, but it also helps to reset the spine. And then as we rock side to side now, let's go ahead and bring ourselves to one side or the other. So once you get on your side, extend your top leg and then bring your top hand to the mat and just come up to seated. We are going to come over to hands and knees kind of briefly, but we are going to be doing some belly down stuff. So in light of that, you may want to go ahead and place a blanket underneath where your knees and eventually your pelvis will go. Oh, my phone keeps going off. All right. All right. So let's come on to our hands and knees. We'll do a few cat cows here. That'll just feel really good after the back bends. Wrists are under our shoulders, knees are under hips. Tuck the toes, lower the belly toward the mat, and raise the gaze to look at the wall in front of you. This is cow. Flatten the tops of the feet, round the back, nose toward the navel, coming into cat. So just move back and forth. Just keep doing this a few more times, just at your own pace. And then let's very briefly press back into a balasana or child's rest. So while you're here, make sure that your block is at the head of your mat because we'll need that when we come back up. So you can stretch your arms straight or you can bend your elbows, stretching a bit in the triceps area on the back of the upper arm. Now let's go ahead, bring the hands back out in front of us, push up into tabletop. Now we are going to come down to the mat. So walk your knees back just a little bit. Hug the elbows in toward the torso and gently lower yourself down. Be very mindful of your shoulders. Hugging the elbows in will help to protect the shoulders. And then bring the hands out in front. Stack the hands and rest the forehead down. We are in crocodile rest. And when we get here, we can bend our knees and just windshield wiper a little bit here. And then go ahead and bring the feet back to the mat. I'm going to do a little bit with locust just for the upper body today. So bring your arms into goddess arms and very, very lightly rest your chin on the mat. Lengthen the back of the neck so that we're not straining the neck any. We're going to take a deep breath in, and on our exhale, we're going to lift the head, shoulders, and arms off the mat. Any amount, doesn't have to be a lot. Make sure you're not craning your neck, so just keep it in line with the spine. You'll feel the back muscles activate to hold all of that up. And then we're going to release back to the mat. We're going to do that one more time. Deep breath in, exhale, and raise up. You can press the pelvic bone into the mat as well as the tops of the feet. Engage the legs. And release back down. And then we're going to do that one more time, but this time we're going to take the block in our right hand. We're going to take a deep breath in, exhale, raise the head, shoulders, and arms up. Block is in the right hand. We're going to sweep the arms back like we're reaching toward our feet. And we're going to transfer the block so that it's between both hands, pulling the shoulders back a little bit. We'll let go with the right hand, let the left hand hold the block. And then we're going to bring the arms back into goddess, rest the chin down, and then bring the hands back in front, rest the forehead down, bend the knees, and windshield wiper. All right, let's bring the feet back to the mat. Bring the hands back into goddess arms. Just very gently rest that chin down. Block is in the left hand. Take a deep breath in, exhale, raise head, shoulders, and arms off the mat. Sweep the arms back like they're reaching toward the feet. Make sure you're breathing. Transfer the block so that both hands are holding it. Shoulders are coming back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Transfer it into your right arm and then sweep them back up into goddess arms and lower back down. Bring the hands in front, rest the forehead down, and windshield wiper one more time. You can bring your feet back down to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tug the elbows in toward the sides. We're going to press up through tabletop and then back into child's rest. So after the work we did on our back in the supported bridge as well as the locust, having the back rounded here should feel really good. If you'd like to bend your elbows and stretch the triceps, feel free to do that. Then we'll bring the hands back to the mat. Go ahead and come back up into tabletop. And then let's extend one leg and then the other coming into high plank. Now, if high plank is not in your practice today, just drop the knees. Coming into knee plank, either one works. Drop the knees. Press back into child's rest. Come on back up. We're going to do plank one more time. High plank or knee plank. Just make sure you're in a straight line from your knees to the crown of your head or the crown of your head towards your heels. Drop back, drop the knees back. Press into child's rest one more time. And then just walk the hands back, bringing yourself upright. You can go ahead and move the blanket over to the side. And we're going to come on down to our backs. You can have the blanket underneath your head for this next set of poses. So when we do a lot of back bending in our practice, we like to also do a lot of do some twisting at the end to just help to further reset the spine. But before we do any twists, let's first of all go into supported I'm sorry, supine cobbler or reclined cobbler. So just bring your knees and your ankles together and then let the knees drop out to the side. Soles of the feet together. Feeling a stretch in your inner thigh. If the stretch on the inner thigh is a little too intense, just bring your hands underneath your upper thighs just to relieve that a little bit. You may even want to start with your hands there, and then gradually, as things release, just let the hands come out. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and bring the knees back together. You can use your hands to help. And then we'll extend that right leg long and straight. Left foot's on the mat. We're going to pick up our hips, move them a couple of inches to the left. Left foot goes on top of right thigh, and right hand guides the knee into the twist. Left arm out into a T. You can look at the ceiling here, or you can even look off of the left fingertips. Really depends on how you're feeling today. Just make sure you're breathing. You can even make this a little more active by coming out just a little bit on the inhale and then going back, maybe even a little bit further as you exhale. Twisting is also really good for digestion and elimination. So if you're ever feeling a little sluggish, you can always do a few twists, and that should help. All right, release the knee. Let everything unwind. Bring both feet to the mat and recenter yourself on the mat. So you may have to look to make sure you're straight. Then we'll extend the left leg long and straight. Pick up the hips, move them a couple of inches to the right. Right foot on left thigh. And then the left hand guides the knee across. Right arm to a T. Make sure you're breathing. Again, like we did on the other side, if you want to make this a little more active, just release a little bit on the inhale. Go back in a little bit deeper on the exhale. Get ready to come out. Just release the knee. Let everything unwind. Recenter yourself on the mat. So we will do one more twist here. This time we're not going to stack our hips, so it's going to feel a little bit different. So bring your legs up into that 90-degree angle as if we're in tabletop, and then let the legs drop off to the right. So if your keep your knees and ankles together, but if they don't reach the floor, you can always place something underneath, a block, a blanket. So you'll notice that this twist is a little bit harder to hold because we didn't stack the hips. But it's just a little different twist here. Let's go ahead and bring the knees back up toward the ceiling and then drop them off to the left. Again, trying to keep the knees and ankles together. On our next inhale, go ahead and bring the knees back up and then just draw them into the chest. And then we'll do some rocking side to side. Again, here. Then let's let the feet drop back to the mat very slowly and gently. Walk them out to the long edges of your mat and just gently windshield wiper. Dropping the feet to the left or the knees to the left and then to the right. Just take them as far as they want to go. Nothing to force. And go nice and slow. This also twist the torso a little bit. And after a couple more rounds of this, we'll bring the knees back up toward the ceiling. Then you can walk your feet together and then bring the knees into the chest. Again, just rocking side to side. And then if you would like to move this into happy baby or anything else that you would like to do, we are getting ready for meditation and shavasana. So feel free to do whatever poses that your body may be asking for. I know in happy baby, I always like to grab one leg or my big toes and stretch one leg and then the other. You do whatever feels good. I'm going to go ahead and come up and prepare for meditation and shavasana, but you just continue to stretch in whatever way feels good. And Just take your time. We'll be doing the meditation for new beginnings. So as you get settled in, just gently close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Notice your body making contact with the mat. And if you have any areas that don't feel fully supported, go ahead and make any adjustments to any props that you're using. Make sure your body is fully supported. As you settle into this space, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast open meadow. Visualize the landscape before you, lush and green, stretching out as far as the eye can see. This meadow represents the canvas of new beginnings, a blank slate upon which you can paint your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Feel the soft grass beneath your feet, grounding you to the earth beneath you. With each step you take, imagine yourself shedding the weight of the past, releasing any doubts or fears that may be holding you back. You're stepping into a new chapter of your life, one filled with endless possibilities and opportunities for growth. As you continue to walk through the field, notice the gentle breeze brushing against your skin, carrying with it the scent of fresh flowers and the promise of new beginnings. Let this breeze wash over you, cleansing your mind, body, and spirit of anything that no longer serves you. In the distance, you see a shimmering light beckoning you forward. Allow yourself to be drawn towards this light, knowing that it represents the dawn of a new day, a new chapter in your journey. With each step you take towards the light, feel a sense of anticipation building within for what lies ahead. As you finally reach the source of the light, you find yourself standing at the entrance to a magnificent garden. This garden is a symbol of renewal and growth, a sanctuary where you can nurture your dreams and watch them bloom into reality. Take a moment to explore this garden, taking in the vibrant colors, the sweet fragrance of the flowers, and the gentle sounds of nature all around you. Feel a sense of gratitude wash over you as you realize the infinite possibilities that lie within your grasp. Now imagine yourself planting seeds in this garden, seeds of intention, seeds of hope, seeds of love. With each seed you plant, visualize it taking root in the fertile soil, reaching towards the sky with determination and purpose. As you tend to your garden, nurturing it with love and care, feel a deep sense of empowerment wash over you. You have the power to shape your own destiny, to cultivate a life filled with meaning, purpose, and joy. Slowly begin to deepen your breath, bringing awareness back to your body and the space around you. Begin to bring gentle movement into the body. Wiggle fingers and toes, and circle wrists and ankles. When you feel ready, roll to one side for our pose of transition. As we pause here in our pose of transition, take a moment to express gratitude for this time spent in stillness and reflection. As you prepare to return to your day, carry with you the sense of peace and grounding you've cultivated here. Remember that you can always return to this inner sanctuary whenever you need to find solace and serenity. Whenever you're ready, very slowly and gently, press yourself up to seated and come to a comfortable seated position. We'll bring our arms down by our sides with our palms facing away. We'll circle sweep our arms up and overhead, palms to touch in Anjali Mudra or prayer hands. We'll bring our thumbs to our forehead, reminding us to live with an open mind. We'll bring our thumbs to our lips, reminding us to speak kind words, not only to others, but especially to ourselves. And we'll bring our thumbs to heart center, reminding us to live with peace and gratitude. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. Namaste.